Good morning, it's time for a cup of joe.
I want to be a cup of joe, first sip in the morning.
So it's snowing here in Michigan and it's the middle of May. What do you know? So let's talk about some comments. So a lot of you guys gave me great ideas on how to break my addiction with Dr. Pepper. Replace it with other drinks that are healthier, that, replace that addiction. Join a 12-step program. But Carrie McKay says, have you thought about the technique of reframing? Can you visualize the can of Dr. Pepper as something you would definitely not want to drink? Like toilet cleaner. It's on the shelf in the supermarket, but it's not for normal consumption. Instead of fizz and flavor, think toxic. And as you say, poison. This is a great idea. I just need to reframe how I think about Dr. Pepper and think of it as like poison. Like every time if I'm going to drink it, oh, maybe that's what I should do. Every time, next time I'm drinking Dr. Pepper, every time before every drink, say, this is poison and will eventually kill me.
Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper.
Oh, or maybe I should leave some cans around my house and just like fill them with like just crap, like pee in them. Pee in some cans of Dr. Pepper, leave them lying around the house. Oh, the kids don't drink them, so I'll be safe. That's a great idea. Thank you very much, Carrie. I'm going to look into this. Rebecca Christopher says, actually there is a type of school that largely teaches what the students want to learn and is student-led. It's called Montessori, and those children thrive later in life. Another great school type is Waldorf, but it's a little too woo-woo for me. Those are two awesome forms of schooling, Montessori and Waldorf. That's true, they are very child-led, student-led, and much more explorative instead of like restrictive and prescriptive of like, this is what you need to learn. It's much more in that vein, which is so true and so awesome. But like you also said in your comment, they can be pricey. I've just never seen a real reason to go to those instead of homeschooling, but I definitely think that would be so good if our general public school system could go more towards those. I've actually thought of how it would be really cool to teach in a Montessori or Waldorf school as well. And the Lady of the Valley says, in the Netherlands, it's not allowed to homeschool. My son had to learn to write and calculate very early, and when he wouldn't, they refused to help him. So I did homeschool him, but on the side. I had 3 jobs at the time, so I wouldn't have been able to fully homeschool him if it was allowed. Like what? I do not understand why some countries make it illegal to educate your children at home. They're literally saying we own your children. Like you are forced to send your kids to us. We will train them how we want to do it. We are the government. Like what the heck? That is mind-blowing. If there's one thing we should have control of, shouldn't it be our students? Our children, our own flesh and blood? Shouldn't we be able to nurture them and teach them what values and what things that we think are important? Like that is just crazy to me. And here you were, you're single mom, you can't afford, you're working all these jobs, and you not only are homeschooling your kid, but you're also real schooling your kid because they say, no, you have to do it our way. But if we fail at it, you're going to have to pick up the slack at home. That's okay with you. Like, ridiculous. So, Lady of the Valley, you are an amazing lady, for sure. Harriet Combs says, please talk more about your job. It sounds really interesting. Did you say it was 1 day a week? What do you do the rest of the time? Maybe you should do a day in the life video. That would be something. My days basically consist of me watching the girls while Aaron's at work in the morning till about 9 or 10 o'clock, then coming to work and procrastinating because soon I'll have to go and supervise kids in the lunchroom. Then I go down to the lunchroom and I give the kids their hot lunches, those who order hot lunch, and then I just wander around and talk to the kids and keep things in order, except I'm not good at keeping things in order, like at all. And then I'm done with that, and then I come back to do my real work in my office, which involves me procrastinating more in my office and planning the week. Yeah, so then my 1 day a week is on Sunday, and that's after Sunday Mass is when I teach the kids. So it's sort of in that afternoon time that I plan that and think about it and that kind of stuff. Not as exciting as it may seem. And Stephanie R. says, maybe you shouldn't be telling kids information, but exploring their feelings about a topic and encouraging that connection to God. Maybe just come at it in a different way. I think you can go about it the way you want to. You just haven't thought of the way to do it yet. I think you're right. I think I have potential to be a really awesome youth minister, really. I have a lot of the gifts, I have a lot of the people skills, and I can be entertaining and engaging, but I think it's motivation that I'm lacking. It's just not something I care about, I guess. Like, I don't know, like I've heard about other teachers talk about how they've been trying to reach these kids. How do I reach these kids? And they spend all this time racking their brain trying to come up with curriculums that will connect with them and stuff. And I don't have the motivation for that. I just don't care. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm more excited about learning and growing my own spirituality and my own way of living and sharing that with others in a very non-structured and non-expectational way, I guess. Instead of being like, this is how you should do things, or this is what, I don't know, what the church teaches. Even though those things are really good and I agree with them, it just doesn't excite me to teach in that way. So I think a lot of it is just lack of motivation to even try different ways, I guess. Yeah. Linda Thomas says, regarding getting rid of children's toys and books, something I found to work well is to hold up 2 items and let them choose which one stays and which one goes to other kids via thrift store or other donation. That strategy works best for us for things that I know they really don't need or use, but they are reluctant to get rid of. I feel like it helps them focus on giving to others versus the thought that they don't get to have that item anymore, and it helps them feel included in the decision. That is so true, and I will use that as well. You just say like, hey, here's two similar items. Like I've done this with dolls or stuffed animals. Here's 2, you got them as gifts. Which one do you prefer, and which one can we give to another kid who doesn't have any toys, who doesn't have any stuffed animals or dolls, something like that. So Linda, you're so right. That is a great strategy, and it does make them realize the value of letting go of these things to give to others, and that they only need maybe 1 or however many. And it makes them feel like they're in control. So yes, that is a great point, great idea. We Are Bullet says, your dream job, do it. You already have so much to share, you don't need to have a book yet. But seriously, all you need is an outline and a simple way to promote yourself as a speaker on minimalism and or spirituality, etc. You already have your YouTube page and Patreon for reference. That is true, except for that I have a crippling amount of debt that I am currently working on. Aaron and I both have tons of student debt. I don't even know the full number, like just a raw number, because we took out different loans from different places. So, but it's a lot of debt, and that is what most of our income goes to right now. Like we spend all of our money goes to gas for our car, food for the table, and student loans. So once I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel free to like explore and really pursue my passions and dreams in as full a way as I wish that I could, because we have to pay off that debt. I take that seriously. I want to tackle it while I'm still young-ish rather than not. I don't want to be like so many Americans who don't pay off their house and pay off their student loans or whatever until they're in their like 50s or like retirement age. That's not what I want to be. I just think I need to work hard at paying off the loans before I'm free.
It has an awesome appetite. Tyrannosaurus debt.
Kim Kelly says, hello, I do enjoy your videos. And to that I say, hello, I do enjoy your comments. So I made a video in the car, and I said, you know, if the audio is too terrible, let me know, or if whatever. And you guys gave a lot of different feedbacks. Some said maybe get a new camera if you're going to be doing stuff in the car, or use a good smartphone. Someone had the idea of maybe put a towel underneath that help do some shock absorption. That was a really good idea. I think I'm going to try that actually. Some of you said it was fine, it didn't bother you. And so some people just said like, don't do it. I can't. It was terrible. But the problem is, on that stretch of road, it was terrible. Like, I didn't realize how bumpy that one part was. So I already have made some other videos that you'll be seeing this week in the car, and those were not on. This one was on a different highway where it's like da-doom, da-doom, da-doom every 2 seconds. So maybe that will be even more maddening than the bumpy road. I don't know. But see if the audio is better in these next videos, because it's not during that rough patch. Some of you expressed concern with like safety as far as doing a video, thinking that it might be unsafe or that I'll be too distracted, and that is not the case, I don't think, because filming a video, at least in this style that I was doing it, is the exact same thing as having a conversation with someone right next to you in the passenger seat. Like, you're driving down the road and you're talking to them and like, hey, blah, 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 and it's just like kind of word vomit, and you're just saying whatever comes to your mind, and that's the way that I do with my car videos. Like, it's not like a pre-scripted Radical Living video where I'm trying to get certain poses or remember my lines and go off of a script. or a comment video where I'm trying to read comments while driving down the road. Like, it's literally just having a conversation with you guys, the same way that I would have a conversation with someone right next to me. So I don't really see how that would be distracting. I guess maybe if I was like overly concerned with my looks and kept like looking at the screen to try and be like, is my hair right? Is my, am I in frame or anything? But it's not that. I just set it up before I start driving, and then I just talk while I drive. So I don't know, unless you realize something that I don't think that it is dangerous at all. Unless maybe you think that you shouldn't be talking to a passenger next to you. In which case, I cannot do that. So I like talking. Talk.
Cup of Joe.
Yes to Les says, so I take it you are not an organ donor. Heck no, I'm not an organ donor. Although I do think it's a great idea to be able to give your organs to people who need them, obviously. But I have heard horror stories about people getting sort of killed for their organs. I'd have to relook it up to give you some hard facts. But apparently, from what I hear, even if you're not brain dead, if you're like in between death and not death, and in a state that they could possibly potentially revive you, they might just harvest your organs instead because people need them. And so that is just like, no thank you to that.
Cup of Joe.
We Are Bullets says, what about Netflix? I can't live without Star Trek. That is so true. So right now, Jordan's talking about, I don't even remember which video, but right now, our current state of things is that we have no TV in our house and we do not have the internet, so that we don't have Netflix or anything like that. We do, however, have this laptop, which technically belongs to my work, but we do have this laptop, and we do have all 7 seasons of Star Trek The Next Generation, which was a gift to me from my brother, which we actually don't have in the house right now. I gave that away. But we also, for Easter, I bought the first season of Star Trek Voyager. I grew up watching Star Trek. I've got Aaron hooked on it. So yes, I completely agree. Star Trek is, it's a must, right? It is a must.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Jordan says, each time I have gotten rid of more possessions, I have thought, finally, there can't be possibly anything else I can get rid of. Only to be blown away a month or two later to find out that I have come to see certain possessions in a different light and am ready to part with them. It's such a fantastic feeling. You're so right, Jordan. Oh my gosh, like the amount of times, I feel like this is like me once a month. Like, okay, I'm minimized, I'm done. This is it. And then it's like, oh, look at all this stuff. Look at all these books. Look at, I don't even know, this furniture. Like, it's crazy the things you don't question until you've already started questioning some other things, and getting rid of those. It's definitely a stepping process. It is a good feeling to say, wow, I've come so far, and yet I see another step farther that I can take. It's awesome. Awesome!
Cup of Joe.
And finally, Rebecca Christopher says, my curious 2-year-old asked who you were about a month ago, and I said, this is Joe. Every time I watch a video of yours, she comes up and says, hi, Joe. Today, she didn't even see the video, but heard your voice from across the room and said, hey, Joe, my little Ava is a fan, and so am I. And to that, I say, hi, Ava. Hello, how are you? This has been your Cup of Joe.
Little Ava, sweet as can be.
How do I reach these
I love you, bye.